What up, hotheads? I'm Henry, and this is Blaze the Roof. This week, we're reviewing a sauce out of Oklahoma named Baby D's Bee Sting Okie Sunset. The company itself is called Baby D's Bee Sting. I guess Baby D is Dylan Hargrave, and he's the founder of the company, along with his wife Ashley. Essentially, a friend gave him a bunch of peppers, and they just decided to start a hot sauce company. That seems to be a common theme with a lot of companies, so if anyone wants to give me a bunch of peppers, who knows what will happen, right? The city it's out of is Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma is the 35th state we've reviewed. The name Tulsa is actually derived from the Muskogee word Tulasi, which means old town. Oddly enough, Tallahassee is also rooted from this word, so there's a connection between Tulsa and Tallahassee. You probably don't want to live there. Just kidding. So Tulsa's establishment actually predates Oklahoma's statehood. It's considered the buckle of the Bible Belt, so I'm pretty sure there's a lot of free-thinking and progressive people there. The Sex Pistols played at Kane's Ballroom in Tulsa, and that poser Sid Vicious punched a hole in the wall, and instead of fixing it, they framed it. I would have just made the son of a bitch pay for it, but, that's just me. Tulsa is the birthplace of Quick Trip, which is near and dear to many people in North Texas and Oklahoma, and I forget what other states, but it's a pretty cool place, convenience store. Also, it is the home of, or where the Tulsa, also known as the Greenwood Massacre, occurred. This was essentially a very thriving black community that became in 1921. A huge riot broke out, and it wasn't even a riot; it was a massacre. Basically, all the Klansmen and all their folk went in and just killed a bunch of people in the black part of, and which is a very, again, thriving community. It's talked about in Watchmen, the TV show. That's the way the whole series opens up, and sadly enough, this whole incident was brushed underneath the mat, right? And it was underreported. People think anywhere from 300 to a couple thousand people were murdered. On a lighter note, famous people from Tulsa include Garth Brooks, the alter ego of Chris Gaines. Sorry if you don't know that Garth Brooks tried to make a rock alter ego named Chris Gaines. You should look it up. People were a little worried about Garth for a while there. Wayman Tisdale, he used to be an NBA player. I believe he was a forward or center. After his days, he went and became a jazz musician, specifically a bassist. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. Rest in peace, Wayman. Also, Alexa, K-pop soloist. I don't know anything about K-pop, so just trust me on this. Goldberg, WWE and WCW wrestler, and Tony Randall. Now, let's look at the packaging. All right, so the packaging here, we see a guy. I guess that's Dylan, Baby D. And maybe he's getting stung by a bee. That's why he's making that face. Who knows, right? So as we said before, it's called Okie Sunset. And, the colors are of a sunset variety, right? Orange and red. It's pretty simple. The logo is pretty straightforward. Seems to be a dropper top. Has that one of those holes where you have to drop it out. It does seem pretty, seems to be a very fluid sauce. So this should be pretty easy to pour. Let's look at the ingredients here. All right, so the ingredients include pepper mash made out of habanero, Scotch bonnets. Hell yeah, love those. And Carolina Reaper peppers. It also includes onion, garlic, sea salt, and apple cider vinegar. I want to talk about the process of making mash. We've mentioned a few sauces where they'll actually say mash, right? Peppers are all mashed together with salt, and they're left to ferment, right? So you basically mash them all together. So they put all three of the peppers, crush them all up with salt. And you'll typically see a mash include salt as the ingredient, right? It's an anaerobic environment, which means there's no oxygen involved, right? And it's created so that the lactic acid bacteria can thrive and harmful bacteria do not. So the funny thing is the salt is actually not the preservative in this case. It's actually the fermentation process itself that preserves the peppers. You just have to make sure there's no air pockets when you seal it, and then you seal it away in a nice dark place. So, and the rest will happen. Before we get any further though, let's hear from this week's sponsor. When you're planning your next vacation, think Oklahoma. It sucks here, but we need money. Please visit. Now for the moment of truth. So even though it's the last ingredient mentioned in here, the apple cider vinegar comes through very, very strongly. Like, it's pretty much all I could really smell. It doesn't even smell hot. So this one might not be very hot. And again, I'm not sure that that's what they were going for anyway. It's just straight up peppers, it's salt and spices, so with onion and garlic. The color I can only describe as kind of a brownish orange. It's not quite red. It's got a reddish tinge to it, but it's more orange, kind of like mustardy color, like a Dijon color. So that's a little interesting there. But well, let's see how this goes. Bottoms up. Ooh, this has a good burn. Ooh. Oh, I was not expecting that. Holy hell. Ooh, good job, Baby D. Yeah, actually, this is hotter than the last two sauces I've had. I guess it's the Reaper. So don't let the smell of a sauce fool you. That was pretty hot. I don't want to quite throw it in heavyweight. It's a very hot middleweight though. Very sour though. But the taste is so versatile because it's just the peppers that you can really throw this on. I mean, honestly, I think anything that you could throw a habanero on or ghost pepper. Because it's neutral in other ways, right? There's no other added sweetness. Being that it has a lot of vinegar, I thought it was going to have a little bit more sweetness, but it's actually more sour. So you're probably not going to want to put this on any fruit unless you like that contrast, right? But understand it is sour. And but yeah, it hits pretty quick on the back end. Again, the most of the burn comes from the back of the tongue because of the types of peppers, right? But whew, it's a good one. It packs a lot of heat. Not my favorite flavor, but it's good. But again, I think it's versatile enough to where you can use it on almost anything except like minus barbecue. And I'd even throw this on like noodle soups or any type of soup just to spice it up. And again, if you need a little bit more salt on something, you don't even have to add salt. So, well done, Oklahoma. I don't like to compliment y'all too much, but that was actually pretty good. That was surprising. Yeah. Packs a punch. Pretty good. Next week, we're going to be reviewing a sauce called Back Porch Hot Banana Pepper Sauce. There's a joke there somewhere. Just can't quite put my finger in it. Anywho, until then, I'm Henry, and remember, spice up your life. Take care.